Hey, I was talking about um, the part of the podcast in which it helped kind of understand my audience and the process of writing for an audience. So, as I was saying, in the past, I used to think that podcasts were actually really interesting. I actually enjoyed them. Um, I can like now, but I didn't really pay attention to them. But now I understand that kind of the way the host talks is actually not the way they would normally talk in our conversation, but the way they talk to kind of like appeal the audience and enable them to understand without any difficulties. So that's something that I learned that kind of like is actually really important. Kind of like shifting your tone to better suit the audience. For the future, I know that I've been actually really interested in starting a podcast with a friend. So kind of like starting a podcast and had experience with it will definitely help. And not only that, but a podcast, being part of a podcast is kind of like being part of an interview. And I know that if you wanna get a job or hire people and be like you will be in, especially in the business side, you will be in interviews. Um, I want to proceed and talk about the my understanding of the writing process and how it has evolved. I want to talk about the essay here. Um, hold I was talking about the essay and how feedback actually helped me improve with it. I want to explain that before this class, I kind of took the feedback process as lame and boring. And I would personally, when asked for feedback, I would personally give like BS feedback just to kind of like get done with it. And now that I look back while taking this class, I realized that it was kind of like really stupid for me to do because I definitely played an impact on their grade, and I never kind of like considered that, and it's something that I will definitely try to fix. Also, I understand that feedback can be a game changer, especially when you're in the receiving end. And here I want to talk about how these people kind of like gave me feedback on my essay, and it was actually really helpful because some people kind of like showed me different ways to approach um, the way I wanted to tackle this essay, and just to bring different ideas into perspective is actually really helpful. And in the future, I know that this is going to be really important because as an innovator and engineer, you kind of like have to have a lot of brainstorming sessions with other people, and those sessions involve a lot of feedback, kind of like criticizing and giving off better ideas to people to kind of like make a product and manifest it into existence, but also having it the best product it can be with the talent that you have. This was one example. The other one is the meme which we did. Uh, this is for a podcast. So here I kind of like uh I gave people my draft of what my meme was gonna look like. It's not really the best draft, not the proudest, but some people kind of gave me good responses. The before this, I kind of like took the meme as a joke, and as Pearly said, I would give random advice to people. But getting to see how these people actually helped me, it kind of like it's making me see that it can inspire ideas and bring different perspectives into a project, such as the meme. And this is especially interesting because feedback is in a way what most um, companies kill for now when they use kind of like data because it's users or consumers feedback. So in the future, as a business owner, any marketing techniques has a meme or the ability to get that feedback or get the data and interpret it interpret it, and change your product is really crucial to the success of your future business. And it's something that I'm really gonna take into account whenever I'm doing anything that involves collaboration and just innovation and rethinking things. I want to talk about another example, which was the podcast I did. Um, for this one, I honestly did not take the feedback process that serious, or like I wasn't planning to, due to the fact that I thought that, I mean, it's a podcast and people are really gonna go off script. But uh, either way, I still think that feedback is really important, and I definitely think that in the future I will take feedback into consideration, especially because although I didn't think it was vital for this assignment in specific, it kind of like brought into existence a few of the ideas that I didn't really thought about, and it kind of like shaped the structure in which I was gonna present myself and other people. So it definitely definitely see the process as something different and better, because it kind of like links this to the other things I had previously talked about, because this is what facilitates many of the different processes which I talk about. And personally, I just think it's really important. Feedback is definitely one of the most crucial parts about the writing process overall, and understanding is crucial. And it's something that I really learned to do during my time in this class. Finally, I wanna talk about how my understanding of reading and writing has shaped and developed over this course. So, at first, I want to talk about how I never truly enjoyed essays. Why is not really. I mean, I don't know. I don't know many people that kind of talk about essays, but I mean, here we are. Um, so as I said, I before the class, I never really enjoyed essays, but I now understand that an essay is really powerful, and that kind of like reading and writing is really really different to what I thought an essay would be. Or in an essay, I just think that reading is just like, okay, let me see what this person has to say in this essay. But I say it's more like, oh, kind of like figuring out the flaws in them, and it's much more entertaining, and it doesn't have to be boring. It's entertaining in the way it's like, okay, this person did this, but here I am thinking about what he or she could have done different, and how it could have been better, or it could have been less biased, or the data didn't have to be skewed the way it was. So I see this as a really important thing, especially with in the future, as I will focus less on writing and more on the on the impact my writing or reading will have. This can also apply to my thinking. I believe that reading and writing is a way of expressing one's thought. The expression of thought is where art comes to life. Whether it's writing a poem or creating a new product, the flourishing of the idea is that's where the writing happens, or the reading. I think they're interconnected. Another example I wanted to give was the podcast, because I truly enjoyed the podcast. But as I said, I I used to think that writing was kind of like overdue, that there wasn't really a necessity for writing, that you could just learn by thinking, or not by thinking, but by like hearing. But that's what I used to think about, and as I said, I had enjoyed podcasts, but now I kind of like see writing as more than just words in a paper. Writing can also be your spoken words because you kind of like write them in your own mind and you express them through your words. So it's kind of like an expression. And the why I love podcasts is because I personally like to watch Neil deGrasse Tyson talk, and he has a podcast called Starships. Okay, I think, and he really talks about many things that I find interesting, and to see that I am not necessarily writing, but I'm kind of like rewriting my thoughts on how I used to think is what I think writing is now. And in the future, I know that I will proceed to learn and read in different ways. I'll pay attention to things that might not look like words, but are full of information. So to me, reading and writing is not just reading words or writing words, it's more like the expression of thought and the interconnection that people have that allow the flow of ideas to from one source to another and information. That's what I personally think that what reading is writing is, and that's obviously not what the conventional person would say. This is just a few of the ways that this class has actually helped me kind of like open my mind to new ideas. So to wrap things up, I just want to say that I personally enjoyed this class. I thought it was fun. I thought the assignments were fun to do, and not only fun, but I also got something out of them. I enjoyed the teacher. She's nice. She is helpful, and she's blunt, which is probably one of the things that I actually appreciate the most about someone. Because I don't want people sugarcoating things. And yeah, this was my time with the class. The Thank you.